Hello, YouTube.
Hey,
We are the Hit Singles.
and we are back.
We are back on YouTube. We are back with an album, in fact.
Hit Singles Volume 2. It's coming out April 20th. April 20th.
April 20th, the 4th. Let's go again, girl. Hello,
Hey,
YouTube.
We are.
Hello,
YouTube.
YouTube. We are
The Hit Singles.
And we have a new album coming your way on 4/20. That's right, April 20th, 2023. It's called
The Hit Singles Volume 2.
And we wanted to answer some questions for you about this album and our process in general.
So back in 2018, way back when we were just starting, we had just done this December, I believe,
Girl.
a long time ago, we did this video, and we wanted to come back in and check in and update.
Yeah. So we've recently been collaborating with AI. So we used Google's Bard AI and asked it to give us two different sets of questions. The first of which are standard questions that you would ask us.
Yeah, any journalist would ask us on a music tour, press.
The second set of questions are distinctly surreal and Lynchian in tone because we asked the robot to give us that. Okay, so here are the questions. What is the secret life of your album cover?
Secret life of our album cover is the fact that we live so far away. Here's the album cover, by the way, just for reference. We live so far away from each other that we often have to do our work either in Zoom sessions or we meet up and do it in hotel rooms.
Yep. So the secret life of our album cover is this is a hotel room in Horseheads, New York, right? And we set up a sunset lamp. And I have a funny story about this. We shot this during the shooting of the music video.
It was right after True Believer.
Right after True Believer. I think it was that same trip. And when we were, we look like fairly eccentric people. I don't know if you've noticed. So people ask us what we're doing, and the hotel lobby clerk was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And my stupid ass, I was like, "Oh, we're shooting a music video." And they were like, "Where?" And I was like, "Not in your hotel room, sir." I didn't actually say that. I said, "Oh, we have some locations around," but we did end up shooting quite a bit of it in the hotel room. And I thought it worked out fine.
It worked out great.
Yeah.
It should be noted that that hotel room that we shot the cover art in, that same hotel, a year later, we were sending the album out for distribution. And later, we'll probably have some CDs and cassettes out for release.
That answers the question, where can people buy your new album? Pretty much anywhere. We're also going to have it on Bandcamp, I believe.
We're going to bring it to Bandcamp so you can enjoy it. You can buy it directly from us.
Yeah. I think Bandcamp is probably the most effective way to give us money for music.
It's the most effective way to support any independent artist.
Except for Patreon. We do have a Patreon. We don't post very often, but we're going to change that.
We've got some presets. We've got samples sample library we've been building up.
Right, exactly. I
Exclusive
really would
singles.
love to sell some of our sounds, girl. We'll work on that. Okay, what genres are the songs on your new album?
So our first album was primarily like an exploration of sound and just us being really excited to try new things. But this album, I feel like, takes on a much more distinct 80s synth pop, new wave aesthetic and tone. But there is a good amount of hyper pop element mixed in.
It's contemporary pop with a little bit of an 80s throwback for flavor. We sort of dabble into hyper pop, I think that, but it's distinctly 80s in flavor, I would say, in the inspiration of the synth textures and the drum programming, and even the types of songs we write.
Yeah.
Who are the featured artists on your new album?
We introduced producer Will Slater into the mix. He mixed and mastered Forever, as well as producing and mixing on Good Time Tonight.
Good Time Tonight, yeah. Oh, we also have Ms. Moxie Grimm
Ms. Moxie Grimm.
on True Believer.
She is such a cool artist. She is so goth, and her mind and imagination goes places that even I don't expect.
Gorgeous voice, wonderful to work with, just a cool person, cool and nice,
Yeah,
which is a
cool
great
and
combination.
nice. It was fantastic performing at Grassroots with her.
Privileged to do a show with this. We also have Mrs. Sicko 7 featuring on Forever. She really killed it on that
Yeah,
verse.
she's very talented. She's killing it in Florida right now, I believe. She just charted iTunes hip hop charts earlier this year with her album Crackademia, which I produced a couple of tracks on.
Very cool.
She definitely check it out. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Oh, girl. Secret projects. Should we let them know?
I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, we already spilled the beans a little bit. So we're planning a bunch of new album releases. The first one is called Plastic Angel, which is our AI concept record. The second and third of which are the hit singles volumes 1.5 and 2.5, which
They
is
are basically the entirety of our back catalog. It is reworked, basically remastered, and slightly retouched versions of tracks that we were left on the cutting room floor for albums 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then Plastic Angel is going in a whole new direction. Very much. How much can I say about this? I don't know.
Let's tell them about it. Why not?
Let's get through some more questions.
Let's get some more questions since we're talking about the current album that's coming out. So much music, girl. Okay, got the featured artist. What inspired the songs on your new album?
So a lot of things. Let's name some things. Drag queen.
Drag queens, heartbreak, breakups.
Shitty bandmates.
Yeah.
Not this
us.
one.
Different ones.
Let's see.
The 1980s.
The 1980s.
The work of Dead or Alive.
Witchcraft. Polaroids. Self-doubt, I think, is definitely a theme. Fear.
Yeah.
But also
loneliness.
Loneliness is definitely one. Hope. There's a lot of places this album goes. I really hope it takes you on a journey.
Yeah. What is the message behind your new album? Have fun, do drag.
Yeah. Pretty much. Go support your drag artists.
Yeah, give money to drag queens. That's the message of our album. What are the hopes for our new album?
Well, of course we hope for people to like it.
I hope for people to listen to it. For me, it's like if they like it, I hope they form an opinion about it. I hope it's not just, whatever, in one ear, not the other. I hope they're like, oh, either I hate this, fuck those faggots, or like, I love this.
Love it or hate.
Yeah.
I love a strong, polarizing reaction.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What are your plans? I hate this question. What are your plans for promoting the new album?
Lots of cocaine.
We're getting a pill stamp, girl.
Yeah, we're getting pill stamps. All kinds of stuff. Vitamin V, vitamin C. You can get we'll be doing like a full vitamin run. Turmeric.
Some biotin.
Biotin, yeah.
Hair, skin, and nails.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're doing to promote the new album. What are your thoughts on the current state of the music industry?
Well, as we talk with AI, and this is an AI-generated question.
This is an AI-generated question.
It's an interesting place to be. Sometimes it feels like music has become less of it feels more like a commodity just to be cheaply sold.
It's in the air and you can get it for free. It's like, on our level, the industry is shit, and the only way to make money is by playing live shows. Unless you happen to buy our album, which we really do. We would love it if you would buy our album, but it is also available for free, so I understand why people don't, you know?
Marketing is very interesting, and
expensive.
I'm not very good at marketing. I have self-esteem issues, but that's my own tea.
Girl.
But that's something I've been trying to work and overcome, and I think a lot of that actually reflects in our album. Is trying to overcome that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the fact that we put out another album shows that we did. What advice would you give other artists who are releasing an album? DistroKid. DistroKid is great.
I would say maybe look at other places because DistroKid has some quirks. Do your research. Don't ever stop because you don't believe you're not worth it.
Oh, that and mastering is important. Mastering is
Yes,
important,
we are in a
especially.
digital era where all of your stuff will be online for years, so you might as well try to make your products as good as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. How did we meet?
We met at a in a Ithaca College's college library at 7 or 8 p.m. On a weekday. We met at a drag meeting for a Rocky Horror Picture Show that year. My partner took me there as he was taking care of costumes for that show particular, and there was other conversations. We ended up meeting. Then a few months later, we both found out mutually that we liked music, and we ended up starting to write songs. First
Yeah.
one of which becoming
Heart of a Man, right?
yeah, Heart of a Man.
Well, there might have been a couple other ones in there, but that was the first one we were like, we did.
That was no, that was like the first.
Was that
one.
literally the first one?
That was the first session. I was like
Oh.
terrified coming to that session.
Oh, girl. That was a while ago, huh?
Yeah, that was like January 2017.
That's crazy to think about. That's awesome. What was it? Oh, God. I hate this shit. What was it like for you to come out as LGBTQ plus? Why is the robot asking me about my coming out story? Okay, fine. It was fine. I was I was the only out kid in my grade. Of course, there were other gay people, but they were closeted. I got bullied, but it made me stronger. And I was a sad boy, but a cute twink, at the time. And, I had some fun. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, mine was pretty much fine. My parents were very quickly accepting. They did note that it was kind of hard to not know. They told me, I really hate to tell you this, but we kind of knew since you were like 3. We were just
Aw.
kind of waiting for you to tell us.
Aw, that's cute.
But it's also hard because, like, again, no, I was like one of 2 people in my grade, and the other person graduated early.
How has your LGBTQ plus identity influenced your music?
Definitely a lot. I listen to a lot of like queer electronic music in my spare time. A lot of queer musicians.
Yeah.
Definitely gravitate more towards. There's something I don't even know what to describe it, but it just very much calls to me.
Yeah. For me, it's like I write songs that are explicitly gay. I write songs about being a drag queen. I write songs about having sex with men.
Yeah.
It's like, it's who I am. It's what I would write about. You can only write. You can write beyond what you know, but they say write what you know.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, the songs that we've written are almost entirely about men.
Yeah, we
in
don't
terms-
pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Oops. We're working on one though, specifically for that.
We write songs about. Well, we're writing a lot of love songs about men, and we're also writing a lot of songs that are women's perspective. We're also writing songs that are women's perspective on men.
Yeah, or a genderqueer perspective on men or
Yeah.
whatever. It's something non-standard, something non-men.
But we generally talk about all of our songs are queer.
Pretty
In
much.
cor- in
I can't think of one that isn't other than ones we've written for other artists. Yeah.
And even those are kind of queer.
I guess. In that we're queer artists working
Yeah.
on it, yeah. What are some of the challenges you face as an LGBTQ artist? Just homophobia.
Yeah.
I consistently weird people out because I'm a little bit beautiful,
People in the comments keep saying, "Mommy."
Yeah, literally people in the comments are like, I didn't realize that was a man, or like vomit emojis, or people, I can just tell at the shows, people will just like walk out, or people will give me that look that's just like, what is that? And why is it singing? And I clock it, and I don't let it bother me because it's a constant, and you can't change those people except through electroshock therapy, so I didn't bring my batteries, girl.
One of the biggest problems I've found as being a queer person is the control over geese that I have. They just are endlessly attracted to me. Violently though, it's a violent control. They only want to peck me, and it's very scary, and it hurts me.
Oh man, we're not going down by the lake then. The geese hang out there, and they're aggressive already. What are some of the triumphs you've experienced as an LGBTQ plus artist? For me, one of my biggest triumphs is starting the Palace, my drag show. Just because we try and do better, you know?
I just tried to bring my queer energy everywhere. I think doing the hit singles and being involved with so much queer artistry and putting in so much work and putting a queer voice into everything that I do, that's important to me. I feel like I don't do a ton actively for the LGBT community because I'm not usually active and out there.
Not everyone can be an activist, darling. You know, I also feel the same way. There's relatively little I can do. What I do is I hold a community space. I try and make sure people are safe in the space. I try and book people from underserved communities within the scene. But there's only so much I can do just because I don't always have the fight in me, you know, the way some people do. I just try and get by. Um, Maybe that's something I can work on. Yeah. What advice would you give to other LGBTQ plus artists? I have one. Working with straight people is okay. Mining your own community is a gorgeous and beautiful thing, but you need to cherish your allies. Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's really hard for that perspective to really click, and it can lead to some hard communication issues, which is really a problem when you're working in art. The communication is key,
Yeah.
and sometimes straight people don't really understand the queer experience in the same way, and it's hard for them to entirely understand how the art reflects that, and why the art is the way it is, because it reflects that experience.
That's totally valid, yeah. What are your favorite 80s dance music artists? For me, it's easy. I really, really like Dead or Alive.
I love Dead or Alive. I love Depeche Mode.
Oh, yes.
Even
Really good.
contemporarily, some of their the stuff from Memento Mori is fantastic. Sell their early works. I'm not a huge fan of their new stuff.
I really enjoy a lot of the Stock Aitken Waterman style. It's just great, yeah.
Kate Bush is like an instant
Oh,
favorite.
gorgeous, yeah. What are your favorite hyperpop artists?
I mean, it's kind of basic. I love Gex. I love
Enjoy the works of
Sophie.
Andre Gex, yes,
I've
he's
been
so
kind of, I was, it took me a while, but I'm kind of starting to like Glaive. Let's see, who else do I like? I take a lot of inspiration from Umru and like Pedal Supply and other artists in that range.
nice.
Alden, Black Winter Wells.
How did you incorporate 80s dance music and hyperpop influences into your new album?
I can tell you that for the hyperpop music, that's a lot more to where I am on my bass line, so that's just very easy for me to just go in and go.
But it's like a lot of samples though.
It's a lot of samples. It's a lot of synths for the hyperpop. I'm doing crazy sampling. I'm doing a lot of drums, a lot of like clanky snares. You know how it goes.
I like the clang.
And it's fast.
For the 80s, it's like you love your Juno.
I love a Juno. I think I use a lot of Arturia mods. I know I have a lot of there's a lot of analog fans that are in our follower group and that might cringe at this, but we used a ton of Arturia emulations and the Roland virtual emulations on this record. I was using the Xenology drum machines a ton. I can't remember who. There's a Lindrum emulation who the name V-Prom it's called, but
Oh,
I can't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
who made it. That is one of my favorite drum machines for 80s work. And I just kept it. I tried to keep it kind of like in the general range of what would the actual tools be I had in the 80s.
What was the recording process for your new album like?
The recording process for the second album, started about a week before the first album came out. Not because we had planned it in such a way, but just because we couldn't stop making music.
Yeah. It's compulsive.
I think we pretty much had, the second album was pretty much done by December of 2021. And then we scrapped about half of those demos and added a new set of demos. And then we scrapped about half of those, and we kept going through that process where we would make a whole bunch of music and then put that into the record, go through the old stuff and cut what we didn't really like anymore, and just went through the album for like a year or two until we pretty much, by the summer of 2022, we had the basic gist of the record, and it just took some fine tuning to get it down to where it is now.
Yeah, and we were mostly working remotely.
Yeah.
With a couple of exceptions.
With very few exceptions. There was like maybe, I think, 2 to 3 times we did in studio.
Yeah.
Some of it was we did it in hotel rooms, as we talk about. Some of it we did in Will Slater's studio in Nichols, New York. Slater Recording Studios, great place to go. And sometimes we would just do it at Alan's place here in Virginia.
Sunny Virginia. What was the most challenging part of recording a new album? For me, it's clearly the distance.
The distance is hard. Also, I was working in morning news at the time, and would had the problem of having to work a morning shift. I had to work 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day. And that was wild because I would wake up as Alan was falling asleep. And particularly for True Believer, it was a nightmare, as every morning I would wake up, I would go to work, and then after I got my work done, I would do a mix of True Believer, send it to Alan, get notes from Alan at midnight before they went to bed, and then the process would begin again.
Yeah.
That went on for like 2 full weeks. And that was probably the hardest
point. Yeah.
That was the lowest point of recording the record. I think I full on was just like, I'm done.
Oh, you threw a tantrum.
I was ready to get to fall into the sea or something, because this is a story people need to know this.
Yeah.
So at the end of this mixing process, I master the record. It's done. It's ready to go.
But it wasn't done.
About a week later, it's not a week. It's like 3 to 4 days. We master it. Alan says, "Oh wow, okay, this sounds good." And then 2 days later, it's like midnight. I wake up and I see the message, "Hey girl, I just recorded a new set of harmonies for this track.
Just for the end, to build it."
Yeah, just for the end, just for additional layer of harmonies for the very ending, just to add in a little extra oomph to the end. Can you mix these in? I was like, thank you for ruining my day, and then just
girl, she went off. She went off.
I sulked for I did it, but I sulked.
And the record was better for it.
I did it, and I bitched about it. Yeah, the record is better for it, and I should not have bitched about it, but I will go on record. I did it, and I bitched like a motherfucker. And we're here today with a great record.
Yes, we are. Sometimes that's the process, girl.
Sometimes beauty is pain. Sometimes art is pain.
So that was the most challenging part. What was the most rewarding part of recording your new album?
Honestly, I don't even. I think I know what my favorite part was.
What?
Getting the verse from Anna.
Oh, that's nice. I think for me it might be the song I wrote with and for Moxie. I really loved that.
That one, that one was a
And
very
also
fun process.
just like getting to do the music is its own reward.
That was a very exciting process.
What are you most nervous about for your new album release?
I'm nervous that no one is going to give a shit.
Yeah, same. What are you most excited about for your new album release?
I'm excited for people to hear. Let's. I want to hear. There's some deep cuts on this record, and one of the deep cuts is the final track, "Cool."
What are your plans for the future?
My plan for the future is to uh well, I think we were already. Let's talk about it again. We're coming up with. We have some unreleased content that we're coming in. We're gonna give you a big dose of unreleased stuff in forms of 1.5, which is stuff that we made before we started to actually develop the idea of doing Volume One. Um, it's just some old projects that some of the stuff is just like is some of Alan's stuff and my stuff that we did before we really built the band together.
Yeah.
Some of it is a few demos that didn't make the album.
And same thing with 2.5, except it's all the stuff we cut from the second album.
Which is a lot.
We cut a lot of songs.
I think there's like more than there's like 30 tracks on Volume 2.5 at least.
Girl, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Um,
And finally, I wanted to talk about Plastic Angel. Plastic Angel is going to be much more contemporary dance inspired. A lot of house it's much house, more house and trance and hyper pop inspired than our previous record. As Alan mentioned, we are using AI to more not quite help write the things, but as a gentle inspiration board.
yeah, I mean, our process is basically you feed the robot some keywords and it'll generate garbage poetry for you. I mean, like really garbage poetry.
It doesn't make any lick of sense.
Often it doesn't make any sense. The Google Bard ones make slightly more sense, but we were using a different AI. We're using a combination of them now. But then you can basically generate 6 pages worth of garbage, which is essentially what I do to start my songwriting process anyway, and pick out some verbs, some adjectives, some nouns, maybe some prepositions if we're feeling spicy.
One or two phrases.
Oh,
if
a
we're feeling
phrase, if
really-
they're good. The first phrase the AI gave us was, "I'll never be your plastic angel." And that's how we named the album.
It tells the story of a woman seeking revenge.
Yeah, that's all we can say right now. Alrighty, what do you hope to achieve with your music?
I hope to achieve a lot of things. One of the main things is to make people dance, make people have fun.
Yeah, I hope to entertain people. I hope to tour. That's one of my big goals right now.
I hope to, and I also really hope to build a world, like a sound world, and enjoy, and like something you can like connect with, not just like dance to, but also like when you're listening on your own in your car, you can connect with it.
Yeah.
And connect into the world.
What message do you hope to send with your music?
Absolute nihilism, burn everything.
Yeah, do drugs, have gay sex.
Yeah, do drugs, have gay sex, live in the moment, because you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah. What advice would you give to your younger selves?
I would say, you go first. I need to think.
Mine is, your boundaries are non-negotiable. Boots.
You don't need to give all of yourself to someone for them to like you, is what I would tell myself.
Nice. What is your favorite thing about being in a band?
Just having someone to hang out and make music with and get to talk about it without sounding like 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 a bird.
I'm gonna say friendship.
I love the friendship and the camaraderie.
What is your least favorite thing about being in a band?
Sometimes the writing spats, you know.
Yeah, when we have artistic disagreements.
They can get nasty because like when you get that passionate about something in a room, you get heated and you will defend it, and
Yeah.
it can get bad, but you have to like sit and talk through it, move on.
What is the most important thing to you as an artist?
I I think creativity. I don't like to always just be by the books.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to expand and to let people take their imagination the furthest limits where they can go,
Love that.
wherever they want to go, and I always push to explore. I'm always trying to get people to like say if they have like an idea to say, "Great, let's explore that."
Yes, and.
Yes, and because you can always because if you yes and something, sometimes you can find things that are just so interesting and so new and fresh.
I think for me, it's to have fun.
Mhm.
If you're not having fun, I mean, what is your biggest dream?
Um, are we talking about like aspiration dreams or like
Anything.
dreams in terms of like the
What-
dreams that
What
I
you have when you were asleep?
Yeah.
Your intrusive thoughts?
Yeah, more
Take it as
dream-
you will, girl.
Well, I keep frequently having this dream about this giant, like, it's not like a castle, but it's like a giant building for like a university or something. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that kind of big sort of, but it's got that sort of gothic castle-like architecture. And it's this big building. There's like a bunch of like meeting and conference rooms in it. I don't really know what the purpose of it is. There's like a secret back entrance to like this library. There's all these nice glass windows. It has a very nice garden. Secret door to a secret library.
Work. My biggest dream would be to like make it big as a musician. That's all.
That's the same. I would like to. One of my biggest dreams is not even to get big as a musician, but to be able to do it and not do it for a living.
Yeah, that's kind of the dream. What is your biggest fear?
IHOP, part time, forever.
Oh God, mine is losing my sight or my hearing. That really scares me. What is one thing you would like people to know about you?
Well, I'm a Pisces. And I feel like that explains a lot about me.
And I'm a Taurus.
So is there anything else we'd like them to know about us?
Well, what is one thing you would like people to know about your music?
One thing I'd like people to know about my music is that I often don't actually remember what key the song is in. And there's like three, and half the time there's like three keys it could be in, but...
Would you like to know a secret about my dirty little musical secret?
Yeah.
I write everything in C and then transpose it.
Oh! Oh! So there's a funny story about that. Is that one time Alan came to visit and was recording some synths, MIDI synths into my computer. However, and figured out on this old MIDI keyboard of mine how to transpose it. However, I could not figure out how to untranspose it, so it's forever stuck.
Okay, this is a weird one. What is one thing you would like people to know about the LGBTQ plus community?
Great hair.
Yeah, we are
Look
cool.
at your hair. Your
Thank
hair's
you, thank you. We are cool and special, yes.
great. Cool and special.
Yeah. Okay, now we have 18 questions for the band that are distinctly surreal and Lynchian in tone. We already answered the first one. What is the secret life of your album cover? 2. What is the sound of a dream?
The sound of the dream is the sound of your thoughts.
I sometimes have music in my dreams. What is the taste of nostalgia?
Um, hmm, that's a good one. What tastes like? I keep thinking of sour candy.
For me, it's Werther's Originals. What is the smell of fear?
Ask any script writer because apparently they must know because they keep writing it into their things. You can smell your fear.
For me, it's that feeling you get when you've been running for a long time and you can almost taste that metallic taste. Do you get that?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the what was it? The smell of fear. That's the smell of fear for me. Even though it's not a smell, it's a taste. What is the color of love? Rainbow baby.
Rainbow babies.
What is the shape of pain?
Trapezoid.
I'm gonna go with rhombus.
I feel like those are like magic. Those both are like
Pointy
they
boys.
both end up being the same shapes of different types of safety razors.
Oh God, yeah.
And
Thank
if
you for
put,
that.
If you put and technically you can also think of it as two a trapezoid as two safety razor trombuses.
Okay, great. Thank you. Lovely. What is the texture of joy?
Texture of joy is soft and fluffy like a sheer rug.
For me, it's
So-
ganache.
Ganache is very good.
Ganache is the.
You're very good at making a ganache.
Oh, it's so easy too. But I am good at ganache. Yes.
You're very good at ganache.
I have one for you to taste. By the way. Do you like white chocolate?
I have mixed feelings on
You
it.
probably won't like this then,
I
because
will
it's very
tr-
white chocolate.
I will try it.
Okay, work.
Try anything once.
Alrighty. What is the sound of silence? It's a song by Simon and Garfunkel.
It's
Robot. What do you
4:33.
think? Oh yeah. What is the taste of infinity?
Yes.
Yes. What is the smell of death? The smell of
that's
death
pretty-
is the smell of death. I mean,
Yeah,
it smells
that's-
like death.
It's rot.
Decay. Yeah.
It's all
I
your
sometimes think mold.
mold. Your body's just liquefying and putrefying shit, piss, vomit. Your insides turning into I don't know what they're turning into, but they're turning into something.
Goo.
Goo.
What is the color of hope?
Orange.
Oh, you think orange?
I
Yeah,
don't know,
like
that
a
was-
sunrise.
Yeah.
Um,
People find hope in the sunrise and the sunset.
what is the shape of despair? I think it's very wiggly, like a jelly.
I was thinking like almost like a very uneven circle.
Oh, yeah.
very-
A very uneven circle. Oh, that's a good one. What is the texture of madness? For me, it's Velcro.
It's like running. It's gravel.
Oh, yeah. Crunch, crunch, munch, munch.
Gravel or someone rubbing popsicle sticks against each other in your ears.
What is the sound of the universe? Well, there is sound. Isn't there? No, there's no sound in space. But you
Yeah,
can detect
space is a
frequencies
vac-
from stars, right?
There is technically sound, but I don't think it's audible to the human ear.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, because space is a vacuum.
Right. I mean, but
But,
is
like,
there still sound
there
in space? We just can't hear it.
Well, there is technically frequencies being sent out.
So it's
but
frequencies, energy of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah, and we could hear things. If space was in a vacuum, we could hear the sun. It would sound very.
Gotcha.
It would sound very menacing. It would be
Oh,
scary.
What is the taste of the unknown?
That is, I would actually say it's golden caramel.
Golden
No, it's
caramel.
it's the ruby chocolate.
Ruby chocolate.
Ruby chocolate is the taste of the unknown. It's very.
For me, it's the taste of fresh rain. You don't know what the fuck is in that.
Piss.
Piss.
Dinosaurs.
What is the smell of home?
Piss. Dog piss. Three dogs
piss.
at home.
For me, it's chicken soup. What is the color of your soul?
The color of my soul is it's like a very pale blue-green, aquamarine.
Mine is sparkly black. Yeah. What is the shape of your dreams?
My dreams are like a cloud from Microsoft Paint. You know,
My
and a
dreams
nice
are
blue.
are Clippy from Microsoft Word.
We love Clippy.
Clippy,
We
rip
stand-
Clippy.
We stand Clippy. Well,
Well,
that wraps up this video.
if you got this far, comment us. What emoji should they comment?
A crystal, the diamond emoji.
diamond
Hold on, let us
emoji.
show you this emoji. Feel free to like and subscribe. And come stream the album, The Hit Singles Volume 2, coming out on April 20th.
You could even buy it if you really like us.
Buy it, stream it, share it.
Fax, rename it. Yeah, girl.
Buy it, use it,
Technologic.
break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, click it, erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, zoom it, load it, check it, quickly write it, replay it, burn it, rip it, track it, chop it, unzip it.
Okay, I have a really hard one for you though. Do you know all the lyrics to Around the World? All of them? All of them? How many Around the Worlds are there in Around the World?
I don't know actually. It's like 157 or something.
On that note, please stream our album. Thank you for watching our video. Good night, YouTube.